a whore. And I don't know. I don't think it sucks. I think we do a pretty good show, and even a bad Simpsons, I think, is better than a pretty good Scrubs. But that's just my opinion.
Thank you.
But I will admit the show's different. The show is a little different than it started out. It's gotten weird because shows get old the way people get old, and The Simpsons is a very old show. It's the oldest show there ever was, and when people get old, they basically go one of two ways. They either get boring or they get weird. Look at your family. Mom's boring, Grandpa's weird. And TV shows are just like that. MASH got boring. Seinfeld got weird. Friends got boring. Newhart got really weird. Lost got boring, then it got weird, then at the end it was sort of weird and boring, and managed to hit all the buttons. So I'm glad we got weird. I know that the show got a little weird, but you also have to grade on a curve. A TV show is it ages just like a human being, where you can count every episode as like a birthday. And in fact, the benchmark for a successful TV show is a show that hits 72 episodes. They go, oh, that's a real hit. 72, we can syndicate it. And 72 is also, what is that? That's the lifespan of the average American male. So 72 is good. When a show hits 100 episodes, they have a big celebration, just like they celebrate 100 birthdays for somebody. The Simpsons is a 550-year-old man. And still these jerks come up, hey, you 550-year-old man. Why aren't you as cute as you were when you were a kid? We're lucky the Simpsons can still pee. So, that sort of segues into the next question I get a lot, which is, how long do you think the show will run? And, and that's a perfectly reasonable question, but it's also, it's like saying to Grandma, when do you think you're going to die? I know the show is going to run at least 2 more years. We have next season coming up, and we've been renewed for our 25th year beyond that. So we're going strong, and I mentioned the ratings are still very high. The problem is it's an expensive show. It is a very expensive show, and not for any kind of exorbitant reason. It's just because everybody's been there for 24 years, and everybody gets a little raise every year, and suddenly you turn around and you see the janitor's making $3 million a year. So, and the most expensive part of our show is the actors' salaries. We have 6 actors on the show, and our actors each make $400,000 a week. No, it sounds like a lot of money, but you gotta remember these people work 2, sometimes 3 hours a week. They make $40 a second. I did the math. I'm Jewish. Okay, next question. Can we switch out the disc? Next question is, why'd you kill Maude Flanders? The actress who played her was asking for a raise. So we killed her. We killed her. Melted her down, made this tie. So, it's good, nobody notices you're there. So, that dragon has a fine ass. So, here's a big question. Who's your favorite character to write for on the show? And, I like Apu. I like Apu because, for 2 reasons. One is, we work very hard at the show. We work very hard at The Simpsons. Apu is the only man in Springfield who works hard, and he's the only one who's good at his job, and I respect that. The other reason is Apu is always in a great mood, and when you write him, you're in a great mood. How you doing, Homer? How you doing, Mr. Homer? Have a Slurpee, have a Squishy, come again. It's, I like that. And the interesting thing is, I created the character of Apu, but I can take no credit for it, because I wrote the first line he ever had in the show. He was just called Quickie Mart Clerk, and his line was 35 cents, please. And at the time, it was a cliche you saw in every lousy comedy. Adam Sandler. It was in every bad comedy to have an Indian clerk in a 7-Eleven. So I wrote the line here, the clerk says 35 cents please, and I put in bold-faced cap, he is not an Indian. So we get to the reading of the show, and we get to that line, and Hank Azaria goes, 35 cents please, and it got a giant laugh, and so Apu became an Indian. And that's, of course, where we learned Hank Azaria does not read stage directions. And a lot of our characters come about. Groundskeeper Willie, again, he was introduced with an accent.